In this video, I'm going to tell you what is the most underrated reason for hitting a plateau. I came across a tweet in one of my archives which read, how do you deal with the demotivating feeling when you can't knock out the full pull-ups or chin-ups that you want? And in my answer to it, now I answered this question some time ago, and just thinking about it, going through it again, made me ask myself this question: why is it that we plateau? Now, this question has been answered in many spheres across many platforms, but I feel that there is one reason which is not being talked about enough. Now, before I go into what is my underrated reason, we need to first ask ourselves, what is the purpose of physical training? Now, according to Christopher Sommer is a gymnastic coach who has had many years of training gymnastics and many years experience of training gymnastics. And he authored a book called Building the Gymnastic Body. And one of the things which he mentioned in Building the Gymnastic Body is that we do physical training to increase the capacity of the human body to produce greater physical effort. And we do this by challenging the body. However, where a lot of people go wrong, or where a lot of especially new trainees go wrong, is a lot of new trainees tend to be overzealous. They lack patience. The reason being is that usually when somebody now starts training, that is usually around the time where most of the improvements or one of the vast marked improvements take place. And usually new trainees tend to take on this false narrative that this improvement or this rate of improvement is going to continue right throughout their training career. So therefore they adopt this take no prisoners attitude where we go hard, we go all out, or we go home. Now this may give you a high in the short term, but ultimately this will not be to the trainee's benefit in the long term. And why is that? Inevitably, your body is going to hit a plateau, right? Or it's going to hit a wall. Usually when a lot of people say in their training they have hit a wall where they have reached a point where they can't go no further, that might be something which you may want to think about. Your body may be telling you something. However, a lot of trainees usually will tend to think of it as, okay, it's all a mindset. You need to push past that mental barrier in your mind and try to blast through that mental barrier. Now, what tends to happen is that usually it's not a mental barrier. Usually it is a physical barrier. Your body is trying to tell you something, and if you attempt to try to blast through to that physical barrier that your body is actually implementing for its own good, injuries tend to happen. And because when you have injuries, you need to rest and recover, and usually that gives you a setback in your training. You end up falling short of your physical potential. Now, usually when trainees complain about hitting a plateau, the focus mainly tends to be on what's your diet, what's your recovery, what's your supplementation, how is your sleep. Now, all these factors are important, but one thing which I can say is this: all of these will not work if the trainee is not patient. Another piece of information which I came across was in a podcast with Rob Wolf called the Paleo Solution. The same Christopher Sommer, he stated these facts. These are physiological facts, as in these are things which the body, or these are the limitations rather, which the body has. It is set. There is no way that you're going to change them. First one is this. Muscle cells, they regenerate every 90 to 120 days, which compared to other cells in the body, that's usually a quick turnaround rate or quick regeneration rate. As compared to connective tissue, where we talk about tendons, we talk about ligaments, those tissues which connect the muscles to the bone, they take every 200 to 210 days to regenerate themselves. So therefore, connective tissue takes a much longer time to regenerate. So therefore, connective tissue takes a longer time to get back new, for want of a better term. Bone tissue regenerates, they regenerate themselves every 2 years. These are facts, these are actual barriers which your body has. You have to come to terms with the fact that we are not mutants. We cannot heal in a matter of seconds. We have to talk about in a matter of weeks, months, years for our body to get back anywhere close to what it was before. Going back to the overzealous mentality that most new trainees have, they usually tend to go with the whole take no prisoners attitude. So therefore, every workout you add more weight, you add more load, you add more reps, you add more sets, more. You just keep on going and going and just add more and more and more. Eventually, within a matter of weeks, your body is gonna come to a point, or you're going to reach your physical capabilities within a matter of weeks. If any attempt is made to blast through these capabilities, you tend to experience things such as knee pain, elbow pain, shoulder pain. Knees, elbows, shoulders, what are those? They are essentially joints. So in other words, your joints are going to complain, they're going to get cranky, because why? The connective tissue takes longer to repair than muscle cells. Now, when trainees tend to focus on adding more weight, adding more load, adding more sets, adding more reps, the focus is usually on the muscle tissue, getting the muscle stronger. And these are muscles which helps to improve performance, and usually what most trainees are looking for, they usually tend to look at improving muscle strength and muscle size, because that is what they're looking for. However, what plenty people tend to miss is that those same muscles are supported by the connective tissue. If the connective tissue goes awry, the connective tissue supports those muscles. If it goes awry, you cannot train. So therefore, you need to look at the body structure in its totality. We cannot just focus on muscle. We need to focus on muscle, connective tissue, bone tissue. And it is this want it now mentality that is what usually tends to end up, what usually helps, or what rather causes the joints to act up. So therefore, that is where the knee pain comes in, that is where the shoulder pain comes in, that is where the elbow pain comes in, because of the want it now mentality, and because the tissues in those joints cannot keep up with the training intensity or the rate of improvement that our trainees want to get, they start to complain. So, in short, I want to leave you with this saying from Al Cavallo. He said in an Instagram post, people are all too often in a rush to progress exercises that they aren't even doing well in the first place. Instead of adding weight to calisthenic exercises, just try doing them with strict form. So therefore, what he is emphasizing there is the same point which I'm trying to make in this video. Be patient. Make it slowly. The body moves on its own timing. It doesn't move on yours. You need to challenge your body, yes, but you need to listen to it, and you must respect the limitations that it gives you. And the limitations is not the same across the board. Depends on certain factors such as your training history, your injury history, your age, and your gender. Whatever the body gives you, that is what you have to work with. And most importantly, if you get nothing else out of this video, in your physical training, give it time. If you hit a plateau, use the concept of time to go through that plateau. Diet is important. Rest is important. Recovery is important. Supplementation may be important. But one of the most underrated reasons, in my opinion, where people tend to hit plateaus is because they're not patient enough. Give it time, and your body will exceed the limitations in its own timing.